Every success story has a beginning. But what if yours keeps slipping away before it even crosses your doorstep? You wake up, you hustle, you try to stay positive. Yet the money drains faster than it comes, peace is fragile, and luck always seems to arrive late, if it shows up at all. Sound familiar? Then it's time to stop looking inside your home for answers. Because the real problem may be right in front of you, literally. Your front door isn't just a place to hang a wreath or stack Amazon boxes. It's the first gatekeeper of your energy field. The moment you open it, you're either allowing opportunity to walk in or pushing it back into the street. And here's the harsh truth. Most people unknowingly sabotage their abundance every single day just by what they leave or forget to place right outside that door. Have you ever walked into a home that felt instantly warm, safe, and grounded, even if it wasn't big or fancy? Chances are the entrance was quietly working its magic. Because when the flow of energy starts clean, clear, and guided, everything inside falls into rhythm. Money stabilizes, moods lift, support appears. But the opposite is also true. A cluttered, dark, neglected entryway, that's an open invitation for misfortune, stagnation, and missed chances. So before you rearrange another couch or light another candle, ask yourself, what's happening at your front door? Today I'll show you 6 items that, when placed correctly, transform your doorway into a magnet for wealth, peace, and aligned opportunities. They're simple, they're powerful, and most importantly, they work. If you've been waiting for a sign to change your luck, this is it. The door is about to open. Section 1. The 6 door guardians that attract prosperity. Number 1. Wind chime when sound carries blessings. You might not think twice about the silence outside your door, but your energy does. Every day, as the world moves past your home, invisible currents of stress, distraction, and stagnant energy collect near your entrance. Over time, they build up like unseen dust, quietly dulling the atmosphere inside. You feel it even if you don't see it. Money slows, motivation fades, arguments flare more easily, and that deep sense of peace feels harder to reach. So what can you do? Surprisingly, something as simple as a wind chime can change everything. This isn't decoration. This is vibration. In energy-centered living, sound is one of the fastest ways to shift the invisible. Think about how quickly music changes your mood, how the sound of laughter can light up a room, or how silence, when it stretches too long, can feel heavy. Now apply that to the entrance of your home, the first space that greets every guest, every opportunity, and every energetic wave coming from the world outside. A wind chime, when chosen and placed correctly, acts like a filter. Its soft, natural tones break up stagnant energy before it even crosses your threshold. The moment wind stirs it, the space comes alive. You're no longer passively receiving energy, you're actively shaping it. Not all wind chimes are created equal. The material, number of rods, placement, all matter. Metal wind chimes with 6 or 8 rods are especially powerful. 6 symbolizes flow and harmony. 8 represents abundance that continues to grow. Every ring becomes a subtle affirmation. You are open, ready, and aligned to receive. And the sound itself. It's not noise, it's like a soft conversation between your home and the universe. Welcome, it says over and over again. Where you hang your wind chime matters just as much. Stand inside your front door and look out. To your right is what energy practitioners call the heavenly gate, a symbolic passageway for divine energy and guidance. That's where your wind chime belongs. Hang it where natural wind can find it, but not so low it clatters wildly in storms. You want gentle movement, consistent, calm tones. Think of it like breath work for your home, steady, soothing, intentional. Some people wonder if something so simple could really make a difference. But imagine this. Two homes on the same street. One has a silent doorway weighed down by clutter and stillness. The other has a clean path, a soft breeze, and the quiet melody of a wind chime whispering each time the wind passes. Which home feels alive? Which one do you think invites joy, clarity, and momentum? The answer isn't in belief, it's in energy. And energy, like gravity, doesn't require your permission to work. Wind chimes are especially powerful if your home is near a busy road, intersection, or anywhere the external world pushes fast, chaotic energy toward your door. That movement can overwhelm your space. But a well-placed wind chime acts like a diffuser, breaking up the rush, softening what's harsh, and converting pressure into peace. It's protection without resistance, strength through harmony, and the effect isn't just spiritual, it's emotional. After a few weeks with a properly placed wind chime, many people report feeling lighter when they step outside. Visitors linger longer, conversations flow more easily, even pets seem calmer. Why? Because sound shifts mood and mood shapes experience. Of course, intention is key. Before you hang your wind chime, take a moment to center yourself. Choose it with care, not for style but for resonance. Hold it in your hands and set a simple intention. This home is ready to receive peace, abundance, and clarity. When you place the wind chime with that clarity, you give it a job, and energy always responds to clarity. In a world filled with noise, the right kind of sound becomes sacred. Your wind chime doesn't shout. It sings quietly, faithfully, every time the breeze touches it. It doesn't demand attention, but it commands energy. And slowly, day by day, it clears the space between the outside world and your inner peace. So if your front door feels heavy, dull, or lifeless, don't underestimate what a few metal rods and a breath of wind can do. Let sound carry your blessings. Let your home ring with welcome. Let your next chapter begin with a chime. Number 2, pair of Kylin Statues, silent protectors of light. You might not see the energy rushing toward your front door, but it's there. Cars speeding past, tense conversations echoing down the street. The weight of neighbors' stress, the buzz of the world outside. And while you can't stop the world from spinning, you can choose what gets through. That's where the Kylin comes in, a guardian not of walls or windows, but of energy. One that doesn't bark, doesn't glare, doesn't need to be fierce to be strong. It simply stands, watches, protects, quietly. Most people overlook the space just outside their front door. Maybe there's a bench, a pot of flowers, a few old shoes. But from an energy perspective, that space is wide open, an unguarded bridge between everything you invite into your life and everything you should keep out. And if your entrance faces a busy intersection, a sharp corner, or a street that points directly at your home, that's like leaving your front door open during a storm. Energy rushes in unfiltered, fast, chaotic, and often harmful. Over time, that shows up as stress, poor sleep, arguments, financial instability. Not because your house is broken, but because it's energetically exposed. Enter the Kylin, a mythical creature from Eastern tradition, revered for centuries not just for protection, but for what it represents. Nobility, virtue, peace. Unlike lions or dragons that ward off danger through power and intimidation, the Kylin guards through presence. Think of it as a spiritual shield made not of fear, but of integrity. It absorbs tension, deflects harm, and radiates calm. Placing a pair of Kylin statues outside your front door is like hiring two silent bodyguards who never sleep, never leave, and never lose their grace. But placement is everything. These statues must always be positioned in pairs, one representing yin, the other yang. They should stand on either side of your front entrance, facing outward as if scanning the path ahead, never inward. That's a common mistake. Facing them inward would be like turning their protective gaze away from threats and toward you, reversing their purpose entirely. You wouldn't place a lock on the inside of your door pointing inward. The same applies here. Size and material also matter. You don't need massive stone beasts. Smaller Kylin statues made of green stone, white quartz, or jade are ideal for residential use. Their energy is subtler, more refined. You want them to blend into the space, present but not aggressive. Their job isn't to scare energy away, it's to filter it, to soften what's harsh, to hold space for peace. Why the Kylin and not a lion or dragon? Because your home isn't a fortress, it's a sanctuary. The Kylin doesn't bring the energy of dominance, it brings the energy of wisdom. In legend, Kylins only appear where goodness lives. Their presence affirms that your space is sacred, intentional, protected not by force but by clarity and light. Many who place Kylin statues notice the shift quickly. The front of their home feels calmer. Unexpected issues, leaky pipes, late payments, restless sleep begin to ease, visitors linger without tension. Children feel safer. Pets settle near the door, drawn to the balance. It's subtle but powerful. Because protection isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply the absence of harm. If your home feels like it's been absorbing too much, emotionally, financially, spiritually, it may be time to invite the Kylin. But do it mindfully. Clean the space first. Approach the statues with gratitude, not fear. Place them with a clear intention, to guard peace, to welcome blessings, to filter the noise of the outside world without letting it inside. In a time when the world feels increasingly loud and unstable, the Kylin reminds us that strength can be still. That defense doesn't always look like resistance, and that sometimes the most powerful form of protection is the quiet presence of something that simply says, "You are safe here." The two silent protectors, one sacred threshold, let them stand, let them watch, let peace begin at the door. Number 3, prosperity plant, a living flow of abundance. There's a kind of silence that settles around a front door with no life near it, a stillness that doesn't feel calm, but empty. A door without green is like a smile without warmth, technically complete but missing its heart. If you've ever looked at your entrance and felt something was off, something you couldn't quite name, it might not be what's there. It might be what's missing. Because where there is no growth, there can be no flow. And when it comes to attracting wealth, opportunity, and emotional balance, a plant placed just outside your door may be the quiet solution you didn't know you needed. Plants are not just decoration. They're energy in motion. They breathe. They grow, they respond. In the world of home energy and environmental flow, plants represent the wood element, symbolizing life, expansion, vitality, and wealth that continues to renew itself. A healthy plant at your front entrance isn't just a nice touch. It's a magnet for abundance. It tells the universe, this home is alive, thriving, and ready to receive. It gently pulls in good energy while absorbing and diffusing the heavy, stagnant vibrations that often gather around doorways, especially in homes near traffic, conflict, or decay. But not just any plant will do. To invite prosperity, you need a plant that embodies it. Look for ones with lush, thick, rounded leaves. These shapes mimic coins and fullness, energetically calling in wealth and keeping it close. Some of the most effective choices include the jade plant, the ZZ plant, and golden pothos. The jade plant, with its plump coin-like leaves, symbolizes gathered wealth, income that comes and stays. The ZZ plant carries a strong, upright energy, perfect for drawing new opportunities, especially for business or career growth. And the golden pothos with its flowing vines offers balance and harmony, ideal for families seeking both peace and prosperity. Placement matters just as much as the plant itself. Stand inside your home and look out the front door. To your left is what energy workers refer to as the green dragon side, the pathway of active yang energy, associated with money flow, protection, and helpful people. That's where your plant should go. Place it in a sturdy pot, ensure it gets light and fresh air, and check in on it regularly. If it wilts, yellow, or begins to die, take it seriously. It's not just a plant that's struggling. It's your energy trying to signal you that something needs your attention. Many people assume wealth requires huge shifts, more work, smarter strategy, better timing. But often, the most powerful changes begin at the energetic level, in small, physical gestures of care and alignment. Placing a plant outside your door is one of those gestures. It doesn't just change the look of your home. It changes how your space feels, how your day begins, how your guests respond, and how opportunity flows toward you. Because plants are receivers, but they're also messengers. And when one stands at your doorway, it tells the world, life grows here, energy moves here, wealth belongs here. Want to amplify its effect? Tie 3 Chinese coins together with a red string and gently hang them on a branch or lay them in the soil. These coins represent heaven, earth, and humanity in alignment, a trinity of balance that locks in abundance. The red string activates the energy. The coins call it in. The plant grounds it. But more important than any symbol is the care you give it. Water it, talk to it, touch its leaves, tend it like you would your intentions. Because the way you treat this living presence is the way you treat your flow of prosperity. A home without a plant at the door is not broken, it's just unfinished. But the moment you place that first pot, everything begins to shift. Air becomes fresher. The light seems warmer. People smile before they even ring the bell. And over time, without realizing how or why, you may begin to notice that things are finally moving in the right direction, gently, naturally, like a vine following the sun. That's not coincidence. That's the power of life placed with intention. Let something green stand at your door and let abundance find its way home. Number 4, jar of salt, rice, and coins. A small container, a giant blessing. It sits quietly, hidden in a corner, unremarkable to the eye, yet powerful beyond measure. No flickering lights, no mystical symbols. Just a simple jar filled with salt, rice, and a few coins. And yet this humble combination has anchored the energy of homes for generations, acting as a quiet sentinel against chaos, loss, and emotional drain. If your home has felt unstable lately, finances scattered, moods unpredictable, a strange heaviness lingering at the threshold, this small ritual might be the missing piece. Because sometimes the most powerful protectors don't shout. They just stand guard. Your front door is more than an entryway. It's a crossing point, a threshold between the swirling, unpredictable energy of the outside world and the sacred space you call home. What crosses that boundary matters. And if you don't have a way to cleanse or filter it, you're letting in more than you think. Stress, tension, fragmented energy from others, it all builds up just inside the door. Over time, it doesn't just affect your space, it affects you. Your clarity, your decisions, your sleep, your finances. The jar of salt, rice, and coins works like an energy filter, quietly stabilizing the space, soaking up negativity, and protecting the foundation of your home. But why these 3 elements? Salt is one of the most ancient natural purifiers. It absorbs emotional residue, neutralizes stagnant energy, and protects boundaries. Rice represents nourishment, fertility, and abundance. the ability to thrive, not just survive. And coins, of course, symbolize financial energy and flow. Together, these ingredients don't just sit in a jar. They become a beacon, a signal to the universe that this home is grounded, blessed, and guarded. Creating this jar is simple but powerful. Choose a clean glass container with a secure lid. Add equal parts coarse sea salt and uncooked white rice. Drop in 3 coins, ancient-style Chinese coins, shiny pennies, or whatever feels energetically valuable to you. Seal the lid, but don't just place it like any object. Hold it first, close your eyes, set a clear, calm intention, something like, "This jar protects my home, this space is safe, abundant, and free of heavy energy." That clarity is what activates the jar. It's not the ritual, it's your energy that gives it power. Where you place the jar matters. Don't display it like decor. Tuck it in a discreet, dry corner near your entrance, under a bench, beside the shoe rack, or behind a potted plant. Avoid placing it in direct sunlight, damp areas, or places with constant foot traffic. You want it close to the front door, but quietly doing its work in the background. Think of it as the air filter of your spiritual space, unseen but essential. What happens next might feel subtle at first. A sudden calmness as you walk through the door, fewer conflicts, a small financial win. A feeling of steadiness that wasn't there before. Over time, that jar becomes more than a container. It becomes a pattern breaker, a quiet disruptor of chaos. A reminder that your home is an ecosystem and it responds to your care. But remember, energy evolves, and so should your jar. Every 3 to 6 months, check it. If the rice is discolored, the salt clumped, or the coins tarnished, that's your sign. It's done its job. Dispose of it respectfully. Pour the contents outside or into a natural space, never into the trash. Thank it silently and create a fresh one. This isn't superstition, it's symbolic housekeeping. Just as you wouldn't ignore a clogged air filter, don't ignore a jar that has absorbed what you couldn't see. In a world where so much feels out of your control, this is one thing you can do. A small act of intention. A container of balance. A decision to guard what matters most, not just your money, but your peace, your clarity, your sanctuary. Wealth doesn't always announce itself with big moments. Sometimes it begins with a quiet jar near your front door, and from there, everything starts to flow. Number 5, welcome mat with symbol, the first filter of energy. Most people don't give their welcome mat a second thought. It's just there. Something to wipe your shoes on, a polite message for visitors, maybe a seasonal decoration. But what if I told you that mat is far more than a doormat? What if it's the very first line of defense for your home's energy, quietly deciding what gets to enter and what should stay out? Because before anyone steps foot into your space, before joy or stress, peace or chaos crosses the threshold, it all touches that mat. Energy, like water, carries everything it flows through. People bring stories with them. Their joy, exhaustion, anxiety, or even bitterness lingers in the invisible field around them. When they walk up to your front door, that energy comes too. And while you may smile, offer tea, or light candles inside, none of that matters if the first contact, your welcome mat, is acting like a sponge for negativity rather than a filter for blessings. A clean, intentional mat is more than good manners. It's energetic hygiene. It catches the dust of the outside world, literally and symbolically. But when it's old, moldy, or faded, it sends a message. This space is neglected. Boundaries are weak. Energy flows here without awareness. That's not just bad for aesthetics, it's bad for prosperity. So let's talk about what makes a mat powerful. First, color. Warm, grounding colors, like deep red, earthy brown, or golden orange, are ideal. These tones belong to the yang spectrum, associated with strength, vitality, and protection. They help elevate the energy right at the point where the outside meets the inside. Second, texture. Choose a mat that feels substantial, not flimsy. One that can catch the energy, not just slide under it. Third, and perhaps most overlooked, symbols. Traditional designs such as the Chinese character for blessing, coins, a rising sun, or wave patterns all carry intentional messages. Even simple geometric shapes or affirming words like welcome, grateful, or home can transform the mat from a passive item into an energetic gatekeeper. Placement is straightforward but important. Center it directly in front of the main entrance, aligned, not off to the side. This is the point where the outer world transitions into your inner world. Let that space be clear, defined, and respected, and once a week, shake it out. Tap it clean. Set it under sunlight for a few hours if possible, or sprinkle a bit of coarse salt over it overnight, then sweep it away in the morning. These small acts reawaken the mat's function, not just as a tool of cleanliness, but as a living part of your home's energy system. Think of it like this: if your front door is the mouth of your home, the welcome mat is the lips. It speaks before you do. It greets every guest, every delivery, every opportunity. What is it saying? Is it clean, vibrant, and intentional? Or tired, stained, and forgotten? The moment you upgrade your welcome mat, visually and energetically, you'll notice a shift. People pause longer before ringing the bell. Packages arrive undamaged. You feel more grounded as you leave and return. The subtle chaos that used to cling to the threshold begins to lift. Wealth, peace, and clarity don't just need space inside your home. They need a clear invitation before they cross the line. Your welcome mat is that invitation. It's the very first filter of energy. Make sure it reflects the kind of life you want walking through your door, because everything begins at the threshold, even abundance. Number 6, warm light keep the flame alive. There's a reason we light candles in moments of stillness. A reason why every celebration, sacred ritual, and warm memory seems to begin or end with light. Light isn't just visibility, it's life. It's energy made visible. And when it comes to your front door, the light you place there might be doing more than helping you find your keys at night. It might be the very thing that signals to opportunity, support, and abundance. This home is alive, awake, and ready to receive. In energy-based living, the front entrance is known as the mouth of Kai, the place where life force enters and circulates through your entire space. But here's what most people miss. If that mouth is left in darkness, the flow weakens. Light is yang energy. It moves, warms, activates. When your doorway is well lit, it sends out a clear message: vitality lives here. When it's dim or flickering, or worse, completely dark, it whispers a different message. This place is dormant, uncertain, neglected, and the universe listens. Think of the last time you approached a home at night. A porch bathed in soft amber light feels welcoming, stable, safe. You slow down, you breathe deeper. Now think of a house where the entrance was barely lit or cast in shadow. It feels uncertain, closed off. That subtle emotional cue. It's energetic communication. And it matters more than you think, not just to people, but to the invisible flow of luck, opportunity, and even emotional harmony. Installing a warm light at your front door is one of the simplest yet most overlooked ways to shift your home's energy. But not just any light. The color and quality matter. Harsh white lights can overstimulate and disrupt the energy flow. Instead, choose warm-toned bulbs, amber, gold, soft yellow. These belong to the fire element in energy symbolism, which strengthens both the earth and metal elements. both deeply tied to wealth, stability, and growth. Design matters too. Choose fixtures with soft, rounded shapes, like lanterns, lotus patterns, or subtle curves. These create a feeling of ease, flow, and elegance, and always ensure the light covers the full area of the entry without casting dramatic shadows. You're not just lighting a path, you're holding a flame at the gate, a signal to the world that this space is watched over, cared for, and alive. Leave the light on from sunset to sunrise. Let it become part of your home's rhythm. Just as the heartbeat continues through sleep, the front light holds energetic space through the night. It wards off stagnation. It comforts the home when no one is awake. It keeps energy circulating while the world outside quiets down. Many people report small but noticeable changes after lighting their doorway intentionally. Fewer interruptions, clearer thinking, a sense of being held by their space. Visitors describe the home as more inviting. Pets rest peacefully near the entrance. Even mail or deliveries arrive with fewer hiccups. That's not coincidence, it's resonance. If your front door currently feels lifeless, cluttered, or energetically flat, light is often the fastest fix. But not because it decorates, because it communicates. It says, this home is ready. This home is vibrant. This home has not given up on growth. In a world that often dims our energy with noise, stress, and uncertainty, this small ritual of light becomes a daily act of resistance, a soft, glowing refusal to sink into the shadows. It says quietly but powerfully, the flame is still here. So set it, keep it, let it glow, not just for visibility but for vitality, because wealth doesn't just follow money, it follows energy. And energy always moves toward the light. Section 2, Final Warning, 3 common energy blocks. Some of the biggest energy blocks aren't hidden. They're right there at your front door, visible, familiar, and quietly working against you every single day. You might call them habits. In Feng Shui, we call them obstacles, blockages, subtle destroyers of flow. And no matter how many lucky items you place, if these 3 things are present, you're basically building a wall between yourself and the life you're trying to welcome in. Let's talk about them, not to criticize, but to clear the path. 1, the cluttered entrance when welcome becomes warning. Look down right now. Are there piles of shoes scattered across the threshold? A forgotten trash bag waiting for tomorrow's pickup? A doormat that hasn't seen the sun in weeks? These might seem like harmless details, just part of life. But energetically, they're sending a powerful message. This space is chaotic, unguarded, not ready. Your front door is supposed to be a clear channel for life force to enter. When it's blocked with clutter, the energy gets stuck. Wealth hesitates. Good news lingers just outside. Opportunities pass by. It's not superstition, it's physics. Flow needs space. And if your doorway is where you dump things, the universe reads that as a sign. This house isn't ready to receive. 2, harsh architecture when energy hits a wall. Is your front door directly facing a staircase that goes down? A bathroom? A sharp corner from across the street? These might seem like small architectural quirks, but they carry real consequences in energetic terms. A staircase facing the door pulls energy straight out of your house, like pouring water into a funnel that leads nowhere. That means money doesn't stay. Support slips away. Calm never settles. A door facing a bathroom introduces the energy of waste and loss into your home's entrance, exactly the opposite of what you want. And if your front door lines up perfectly with a sharp pole, corner, or structure from outside, that's a poison arrow, a direct line of tension aimed at your peace. It creates discomfort, anxiety, even health issues. If your home has any of these features, it doesn't mean you're doomed. It just means you need buffers, plants, curtains, crystals, or even a rearranged mirror. Anything that softens the blow and redirects the flow. 3 signs of neglect when energy gives up. A dead plant by the door, a broken light fixture, a cracked statue. These things don't just signal disrepair, they declare energetic defeat. They whisper, this place has stopped caring. And the universe listens. Energy is alive. It notices when you've checked out. A burnt-out bulb can feel like a burnt-out hope. A wilted plant can reflect a part of you that's no longer reaching for the sun. None of these are signs of failure. They're invitations to reawaken. Fix the light. Replace the plant. Mend the symbol. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. When you care for the small things, you're saying, I'm ready, I'm open, I'm paying attention. And energy responds. These 3 energy blocks, clutter, misalignment, neglect, are easy to overlook because they blend into daily life. But when you start clearing them, even in small ways, everything else begins to move. Luck starts to land. The mood shifts. The house feels lighter. You don't need to do it all at once. Just begin. 1 shoe rack, 1 soft light, 1 space that says, this home is tended, this life is open, this door is ready. Final, not every home needs a full renovation. Sometimes the most powerful transformation begins at the door. Throughout this journey, we didn't just talk about objects. We talked about messages, the quiet signals your home sends out before you even say a word. A wind chime that whispers movement. A pair of statues that hold the line. A living plant that breathes with the rhythm of your days. A jar that absorbs what you can't see. A mat that decides who gets to enter. A light that says, even in the darkest hours, this house is alive. These are not decorations, they're decisions. Decisions to shift your space from passive to intentional, from drained to magnetic. And while they may seem small on the surface, they each touch something profound underneath. Your relationship with energy, your sense of control, your invitation to abundance. Not just in money, but in peace, clarity, and connection. Science now agrees with what ancient traditions have whispered all along. Your environment shapes your nervous system, your choices, your results. The objects around you, the lighting, the clutter, or the care, all create constant feedback loops with your subconscious. A home that feels safe and open creates a mind that's calm and receptive. A blocked, chaotic entrance creates internal tension, often before you even notice it. So when we clear the doorway, we're not just making room for guests or deliveries. We're making space for alignment, for flow, for better days to find us. If there's one truth that echoes across both physics and faith, it's this. Energy doesn't lie, it flows where it's welcomed. It lingers where it's loved, and it moves on where it's ignored. Look at your door now, not with judgment, but with awareness. Is it speaking for you or against you? Is it holding space for your next chapter or quietly reinforcing your last? The beauty is you get to choose. And sometimes that choice begins with a soft chime, a warm light, and the courage to say, I'm ready for more.